Hello everybody, welcome back to Bison Workshop. I'm Bob, and I think I've lost my mind. But I've went a little crazy on this thing, adding things to it that I can think of every scenario that I would need, whether I need it or not. If I've got it around here, I can make it or whatever, I'm going to do it. So, hope you guys are having your Trump coffee today. Mine's a little hot right now. But we're going to show you all the things that I've done for this thing so far. We're almost down to the crunch time on the hood. I'm not looking forward to doing that hood. I hope it's not as bad as I think it's going to be. So here is where you guys were sitting, right on my dash. Yeah, I installed a camera mount. I still got to put 2 more screws in it. Don't need them, but they're there, and I want to fill the hole, so I'm going to put 2 more screws there, and they're just 1032 screws. I also put a stereo in here.
Shed some tears, okay? And pretty heartfelt in there.
Well, you know, what we talked about real quick was, I mean, they put it all out on the court. Well, there was a little...
And then we've got USB. Better turn that off before I get a strike against me. I ain't monetizing my videos anymore anyway, so. But then we've got the shifter and everything done. I just went ahead and painted it black. And that was a lot of shaping I was going to have to do, and I wasn't prepared to do that yet. So there was going to be a lot of cutting to get around that, because I wanted it to where just lip was sticking right outside of the aluminum. And that's a lot of work to get that to follow that contour. I'm not saying I can't do it. I'm just saying I don't want to do it. So I got this fixed. Got the seats in it. I got to still polish these. But right now I'm going to take the floor pans out of it. I got the winch on it with my 50 feet. Comes out to this. Now, it's not in the ideal location. The ideal location would be for this to be in this, or even both, to make sure that that thing doesn't hit. It's going to hit right here, I know it. So, and it's going to hit right in that weld, and there's a little nub on that weld. So if you're pulling down, if somebody's downhill from you, then yeah, the angle would be all right. Because if you look at it level, it's level. This wheel here is level with this. So whatever you're pulling would have to be lower than you. So you always want to put your hits low when you're pulling something, or somebody's pulling you. I redone the bushings in these shocks, turned them on the lathe, and made new bushings out of aluminum, and put in there, and fixed that rattle that I thought was bearings, but we haven't got to that point yet. I haven't got the parts yet for it. So I've got the boots, but I don't have the brake pads yet, and I'm not going to do this job twice. So the solenoid is actually my terminal for hooking up everything. the winch, buttons, and the stereo are off of it. And then I found some speakers that I've been carrying around with me for many, many years off of a surround sound system that I no longer had the base for, or the main unit. So I've been keeping these in case I need them for something. And look at there, fits perfect. This radio must also be a charger, because when my USB is in and the light or the stereo's off, it's still blinking. So maybe I better take that out. Don't want to run my battery dead. But I took it out for a ride today, and I just now realized that the reason this thing was so slow to go is the parking brake is on. I never done the parking brake, so that might be why it ran a little slower. It might ride like a straight ass ape if I take the parking brake off, right? But I took it out of here and drove it down to the behind the house, and it's kind of tricky to get it into high, so I have to take and put it in low and then back to high, and it'll pop out of low and into high. It's just, it needs to go further in order to get to it. So it's probably just something out of adjustment or something, I don't know. That means taking the seats out, the center console. I think I can live with it. The dump bed works. And I got to do an oil change on it yet. I got something in it I don't want flying out, so I'm going to not put it up. So we've added the speakers, the stereo. Now I got to get another beauty ring for my stereo. For some reason, I can only find one, and all three of the tits that locks it onto the stereo are broke off. How the hell that happened, I don't know. But it's a short radio. It's one that I got for like $20 at Walmart, and it's just USB, no CD player, and it's only about that long. Normally they're twice that size stereo, and I got two of them. One for my old lady's car that she never did get put in there, that left me and took the car anyway. I gave it to her. But I got another one of them stereos right here, but for some frickin' reason it's missing the beauty plate. So somewhere around my junk is another beauty plate that's laughing at me, saying, "Hey man, I'm over here, I'm right in front of your face. Oh, I'm inside this box, inside this other box, it's inside this other box." So that's where we're at. We're getting ready to do the boots, the brakes, and I put some water in the radiator, or antifreeze, and then I got to do the oil change, and then I've got to change the gear oil in the rear ends. I just want to make sure that it's all good and I'm not driving around making something go bad, because it needed to be done. I'm planning on putting some aluminum in the bed because there's a few cracks. See, there's a crack right there, and there's a crack right here. And I believe that if I take and put a sheet of aluminum in here, this same contour right here, and go around that, and I've got a sheet of aluminum I can do that with, and I can cut this same contour right here so it goes over these part right here. And then I'll drill the aluminum every one of these and put a pop rivet in it, maybe one here. We'll just do the same thing as the bed bolts. We'll just put a pop rivet there, a pop rivet there, and a pop rivet there, and probably one at the end. So we may not even have to do all of them, but I want this thing to be rigid. So if I pop rivet to every one of these, then it'll be real nice and rigid. And I can always put a hole up there in the top right there in the aluminum in between each one of those to let water drain out, go down through here and out the back, because there'll be a gap between here and the bed. Of course, I'm going to stop it right there, the aluminum. So I'll stop the aluminum right here and make it so it kind of tapers into it, file it down to make it rounded like this. So but I do have a piece to do that with. It's not in all that great a shape. That's why I want to use it for the bed. It's heavy, it's thick, it's 1/8 inch thick. And it's got its issues, but I think I can get a big enough piece out of it to do the bed. Then we got to figure out what we're going to use for the hood and the fenders and the grill. I don't know what we're going to do yet. I got the lights draped up in here. And I didn't really do a whole lot of cleaning down in there because once I get this thing ready and we get a nice warm day, I'm going to go out there and pressure wash all that. The radiator, pressure wash all that. These shocks will turn out, I guarantee you they look brand new if I took and just power washed it. Yeah, it's got some rust down in there, but once it's pressure washed, then I can take a spray can down in there and just get most of that area. Unless I clean all that up and do that while I've got the boot and everything out, that'd probably be a good idea. So I found this piece right here. I think that I put it in the glove box to make sure I didn't lose it, and I did. Look at there. I don't think it's going to help me none, because that piece goes in there like that. Right. No, wait a minute. How'd that go? It went in here somehow, because I've had it in here already. Well, maybe that ain't, no, that don't go to this. It does it. Let me see here. I could have swore it's some bitch went in there. No, this is not the right piece. This is another piece. I didn't think that looked like the same shape as the other one, because the other one was flat. And I just found it. Right there it is. So something else is busted then. I need to find out where that come from. So this piece here, it goes in there just like so. Like that. You can see where the hole was. But that goes like that right there. So that gives me an idea that basically all this thing does is just comes up straight around here, and it's all straight with each other. So I can just take a piece of aluminum and bend it to match this contour here and have an overhang, bend it over, and just keep that contact all the way up to here, because it goes up in there like that right there. So it's pretty much straight all the way around. So that would be an easy fix. Just take a piece of aluminum about 6 inches wide, fold about, I'd say, inch and a half, inch and a quarter. Well, actually it'd be less because now you're stepping out. So about an inch, I'd say inch and a quarter. Just bend it over, inch and a quarter of it, and then put it up against there. Draw out your shape with this. It's already got a thing to trace. Get you close anyway. And then we'll just glue this to the aluminum. Paint that black, and that'll fix that. So let me look and see if I got some aluminum that's already bent to that shape that might help me out. Alright, I cheated, guys. I just fixed this. The paint is still wet, and I'm going to go ahead and put this up on there while it's wet, so that when the paint dries, it'll dry and stick that to it a little bit better. So let me get you on a tripod as soon as I find it. So all I did is just took a piece of aluminum. It was 4 inches wide, or 4.5 inches wide, and then I took an inch of it and bent an inch of it over to give me something to bolt to the box, and just brought it out to the same shape. So now I'm going to stick this up on there while it's wet, so that when it dries, it'll dry sticky, stick to it, or stuck to it. So then the hood will come down right here. So I've got to bring the hood down at least to 1.5 inches below it. That's what I'm thinking I'm going to do, is take and make the hood so that it comes down and folds down 2 inches below, and just fold it over. That's going to be the tricky part, because we're going to follow this contour right here. Same contour as the original hood, just in aluminum. I don't know if I'm just going to make it just a flat toolbox like a lid, and just build the fenders another way. I don't know. But that will work. And I just pop riveted to it. I painted underneath of it with flat black. So you see I got 4 of them. I staggered them, 2 at the bottom, 2 at the top, so it gets this strength too. So it don't look much different. The only difference is it does crook here. That could be a problem, but I didn't realize that until just now. I'd actually rather the other one, or rather it be the same as the other side. But it doesn't seal anyway in this area, because when the hood's down, you got that gap right there, and the hood don't hit it till right there. You can see where it's hitting it. Used to hit it. It didn't hit nothing right here to here, so this is all open anyway. So mine's just going to seal better than this one. So that one's broke too. It's broke right there. So I might end up doing the same thing to this side as I did that side. It took me about half hour to do it. So I'm going to call this a done video on updating you guys. Hey, check this out, guys. Ain't that bright? They blinded me today. I took it for a ride out there to the burn pile just to get rid of some of that junk. And she rode all right. It was a little tricky getting it in high, but other than that, a few little things here to get done, and she'll be back to normal. Hell, for no more than I drive it, I won't be driving it in no rain. Won't be driving it in no snow. Of course, if I ever have to in an emergency situation, yes, I want it to be ready for that. So definitely got to have a hood to cover all this stuff. So, and you want it to be able to seal. And it's not going to seal because I ain't got no windshield. But the water will hit right here on this here and go down in this track where I've been putting all my stickers. Y'all didn't see that, did you? Everything I get for this, when I buy parts, I think this came with the starter, and this came with the starter. This came with, it says, get some balls. Boss Bearing Company, get some balls. Now I understand it. I don't remember what I got that one for. And then the stator was already in the glove box, so I'm assuming that they put the stator in here, so I just went ahead and put that on there. But everything that I get for it that has a sticker for it, I got room for 2 more small ones. Then I can start putting them down in here somewhere. But I like to know where everything came from, so I know who to blame when it's wrong. Anyway, y'all have a good one. Later.